Guys, and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to see more. Coming up in today's episode, we have highlights from Wigan vs Saints in the Betfred Challenge Cup semi-final, and highlights from the Huddersfield Giants vs Hull KR's Betfred Challenge Cup semi-final in the doubleheader. And if you're not part of my Facebook group, we also have the highlights of the Betfred Women's Challenge Cup final between St Helens and Leeds Rhinos. With the Betfred Challenge Cup, we always look for the intriguing games, and as we get to the semi-finals, there's none more intriguing than a Wigan versus Saints game, where the Lancashire derby is being played on a neutral ground in Yorkshire, with a chance to go into a final. Saints won the last time out on Good Friday, but Wigan come into the game looking to avenge that defeat. Wigan come into the game with their best possible squad, as they see that Brad O'Neill continues in the absence of Sam Powell and Harry Smith in place of Tommy Luluai, but otherwise the team that you would expect, with Brad Singleton and Liam Byrne being starting forwards. See, on the bench, Joe Shorrocks is preferred to Oliver Partington, while Ethan Haddad, Cade Ellis and Patrick Mago are the usual forwards on the bench. We're expecting that for the Saints side that Jack Welsby is reverted back to his fullback role, but with Ben Davis, who has only played 2 games so far for Saints, being in the half-backs with Johnny Lomax. Then the real up-front battle begins, with the usual starting 6 in the forwards, with Alex Walmsley, James Roby, Matty Lees, Sione Metaltia, Joe Batchelor and Morgan Knowles all starting for the Saints. Josh Sims seems to be the surprise addition on the wing instead of the likes of Regan Grace, who's injured, and Will Hapoate, who is not involved in the squad at all. Mark Percival and Conrad Hurrell are the centres, and on the bench you would expect Kurt Sirenen, who was sin-binned and banned for the last game, being on the bench, but Joey Lussick providing new impetus when he comes on for Roby or one of Batchelor or Knowles, with Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook and Big Ignatius Passy causing the upfront battles to begin. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the first half highlights. And it's Saints' stubborn defence that keeps Wigan inside the 40, but Josh Sim puts down the ball and it's recovered by Liam Byrne with only 2 minutes gone, and this puts so much pressure on Saints. After first going to the right, Bevan French is caught up by Percival on the right wing, but Wigan shift pit left and they go through the hands. Bateman, Cuss lets it go, Farrell, and the rushing Saints defence is caught outnumbered. Walmsley can't get hold of the man, and Marshall dives over in the corner for the opening try of the game. A fantastic start for Wigan, you must say. Poor Josh Sim dropping that, and that's what comes of it. This is what comes of it. Next tackle, second tackle. Wigan just spread the ball wide, fortunately. But Bibby does well to get round Welsby and find his winger, and then it was just Marshall to dive over in the corner. One more look at that. The ball going to ground. Liam Farrell just keeping the ball going, and Bibby doing really, really well. And then the spectacular from Liam Marshall, who celebrates in front of the Wigan fans. Really good inside-outside by him. Oh, look at that. Good dive, great celebration. Now an interesting set of plays as Wigan get the ball back close to their own line, but straight away it was Harry Smith, who was given the props by Robbie Hunter-Paul, who fumbles the ball underneath his own sticks. The referee gives it as a knock-on. He did fumble it. And Saints are well revved up here. Saints are in the lead when it comes to possession and territory, as they have got 50% of the play in the Wigan half so far in this game after 15 minutes. And after they try to go left, a tip-on pass is fumbled by Wellesby, and Bevan French is on it like a flash, and he has enough pace to get Wigan into the 40, but a stumbling effort sees Wellesby get back. Now for Saints to struggle to get back into the play, and Batchelor will not let go, and the referee has given a yellow card to Batchelor. Go and sit down for 10 minutes, which helps Wigan at no end. After what was a clunky first set for Wigan after the yellow card, Bateman gets the ball out and Jai Fields is on the ball, running, elusive and fast. But it's to naught at this point. But it's a last tackle, and Harry Smith gets the ball in Cust's hands, who dummies his way over the line to extend Wigan's lead to 8 points to 0. Harry Smith hasn't been good with the boot today, and it stays 8 points to 0 in Wigan's favour. Here it is again, just attacking that left edge, and a great dummy sees Cust get over that line. Very, very intelligent play from the Australian. Good dummy. Gets it over to the other side of his body. Wigan's interchange benches on after Havard and Cade Ellis have set the stall out. Bevan French cuts down to the right edge in the Saints 20, and Wigan decide to spread it wide, and after a bit of a fumble play, Saints overshoot to the left wing as the ball finds Liam Farrell, who cuts in through the middle to score Wigan's third try of the half to push the scores out to 12 points to 0. Harry Smith adds the extras for 14 points to 0 as it's right in front. But Liam Farrell's first try of the game, and it's 8th of the season. As you see here, the Saints players are still worried about the wing side and the kick, and they overrun it. As you see Walmsley there and Lomax with his face on the floor overshoot. We'll see it as it comes through this picture with the Saints players still coming right and Farrell going through the middle. And that is where those scoring stops, as Wigan are leading at half-time, 14 points to 0. So let's get on with the second half. And Saints are back in it after a mistake from Liam Marshall on the first tackle. As he's trying to get to his front, the ball squirts out of his grasp, and it gives Saints position back in the Wigan 20. Here's the look at it again. He goes to spin and he lets go. No hands from Saints there. Saints take full advantage, and after the first tackle goes to the left, they throw the ball to the right. Ignatius Passy starts to make a nuisance of himself as his offloads are getting more prominent. But it's Conrad Hurrell who powers his way over in the right side. The ball has come free there, so the video referee has to check the grounding as it's unsighted by both the ref and the video referee and the linesman. Here is the view that the referee gets given to award a try for Conrad Hurrell and Saints. As you see there, he reaches out and gets the ball down fairly. Makinson adds the 2 for 14 points to 6. Saints straight off the kickoff go roaring into the Wigan's 30-metre line, and after a settler by Batchelor, they go to the blind side again, aiming at Marshall and Bibby Wing. The ball goes up and it's tapped back by Makinson, which finds Lomax again. who goes over right on the right edge, which Makinson adds the extras to make it 14 points to 12. Saints fans are going wild, and Johnny Lomax, who's carrying a bicep injury and looks like a decent black eye, goes over after this initial pass from the kickoff, a risky one from Ignatius Passy, sets Saints on the go forward, and they march the full 100 metres for Johnny Lomax to score that try. It's a good kick by Lomax, and he follows up his own kick as Makinson knocks it down, and he goes over for the try. Saints are on the attack again, and it's another Lomax high kick that causes Wigan problems as they get to Jai Field, who fumbles it forward according to the referee to start the set again. And Saints are now back in the danger zone for Wigan Warriors. After going right initially, James Roby comes to the prominence, and McCarthy Scarsbrook offloads to Roby, and he keeps the play going. And after Josh Sim is tackled close to the Wigan line, the ball goes to Roby at first receiver, who dances his way through and stretches over for the Saints turnaround for 16 points to 14 after a 14-0 half-time scoreline, which then gets made 18 points to 14 due to the Makinson kick being successful. Here's the challenge again. McCarthy Scarsbrook, looking at Field, puts him off enough for the outcome to come this way to Roby, whose speed and strength for the veteran who gets the points. After Wigan are pinged for being offside yet again, it's Saints on the ascendancy, and they're deep in the Wigan half. Walmsley takes the first one in, then the second one is taken in by McCarthy Scarsbrook, I think it is. No, it's Peter Matautia, Sione Matautia, with the third going to Batchelor, and then Saints decide to move it from left to right. And they go through the hands of Davis, Lomax, and a ball goes to ground, which Liam Marshall picks up and pins his ears back for. And he outstrips the Saints covering defenders and defenders to score his second of the game, and to put Wigan in with a shouter going back into the lead. Here's them passing play again. Lomax's pass goes to ground, and Bibby somehow gets in the way of Jack Wellesby. And Marshall, who is also very quick, despite the Bevan French and Jai Field show, he still goes to the length of the field. Now, 80 metres. Pins his head back and scores, which is converted by Harry Smith for Wigan back into the lead at 20 points to 18. The left footer slots it over with no mistake. And those were the final points to the game, as Liam Marshall proves to be the match winner in a close victory for Wigan Warriors, 20 points to 18. Now we have the full highlights to the Betfred Women's Challenge Cup final, as we see St Helens play Leeds in what was a very good game. Playing in a place like Elland Road is a big deal for the women's game. Out of the two teams, the Leeds Rhinos were the ones that came through the semi-finals with a tougher test, with a 2-point victory against York, while St Helens proves their quality against Featherstone Rovers. Both sides named England internationals aplenty, with Alicia Watson, Fran Goldthorpe, Georgia Roche, and the recent call-up Courtney Winfield Hill in the Leeds starting lineup, while St Helens have Hardcastle, Roberts, Burke, Stott, Harris, Isabel Rush, and Woman of Steel Jodie Cunningham, who are all just a few of the plenty of England internationals in the women's squad for St Helens. It was an epic arm wrestle for the first 15 minutes of the game, but it was a surprise try scorer to open up the game for Leeds Rhinos. After a penalty saw the Leeds Rhinos get out of their own half, Georgia Roach drops off the ball for Hornby, who sprints through the gap and takes over Cunningham to score on the second attempt. It was a legal tackle as she was dragged over the line, a legal try should I say, and Leeds have the surprise lead. There was no cause for the video referee, it was just given as the Leeds player was taken over the line. Here we go again, the drop off pass for Hornby, and Zoe Hornby just leaves Shannon Crowell and the fullback and takes Cunningham over the line, and she had the strength to dot the ball down. Better look at the actual try scoring position. It's a great try, great effort there. It wasn't until the last tackle on the 33rd minute when Saints got some points on the board after Burke went over for the try. The video referee was called into action for this one to make sure that all the Saints players were onside, which they were. But Saints still were trailing after this try as the conversion wasn't made, where Leeds had Courtney Winfield Hill convert her try. Their try for Leeds. Just before half time, Leeds come up with the ball as the next tackle sees Crowell get the ball knocked out of her hands by Beavers, to be honest, but the referee didn't see it and it's play on. The very next tackle though sees Leeds get a penalty as a high shot by Crowell gives them a attempt to convert the two just as we're coming up to half time, which Courtney Winfield Hill attempts to take. She lets the clock tick down to 15 seconds to go and kicks it over for an 8-4 lead to Leeds Rhinos going into half time. And the hooter sounds for half time, which gives Leeds that fantastic effort. First half effort and some rewards. On the last tackle on the 48th minute after half-time, a regulation grubber was fumbled by the Leeds players, and there was Ebony Partington to dive on the ball and get downward pressure. The video referee was called to look into it, as the referee called it up for a try, and after a couple of reviews of the action, it was a try that was given to St Helens, and they had got themselves back into parity. Unfortunately, there was no conversion made. Here's that try again. Never giving up, Partington just pops up and gets the lucky bounce to score. Leeds had the attempt to go back into the lead due to a offside decision that the referee had given, and Courtney Winfield Hill attempted to put herself 100% record for 3 from 3, but unfortunately she cuts it across the front of the posts at this point, which is more of a devastating fact with what happened next. Saints got to the fourth tackle and just outside the 10-metre line of Leeds on the resulting set, and it was Jodie Cunningham who had the strength and effort to get over the line to put Saints in the lead for the first time in the game. There was a bad injury in the background, but it was Saints who was celebrating as the first try at Leeds relinquished the lead for the first time in the game as Saints went 12-8 up. Here we go, the results of that kick caused that try. It was left for Beth Stott to attempt her first conversion success of the afternoon to extend the Saints' lead to 14 points to 8. Would she be successful? The flags say yes. And with the final 3 minutes clicking down, Saints went over for another try as Cunningham and Hardcastle got the ball out to Partington, who went over in the corner for 18 points to 8. And that is the final score, as St Helens have won the Betfred Women's Challenge Cup. Beth Stott's kick missed the mark, but it was to naught, as Saints retained the Betfred Women's Challenge Cup 18 points to 8. And Leeds were valiant in defeat. Leeds Rhinos collecting their medals there, and we see Zoe Hornby, who was the Betfred Women's Challenge Cup final player of the game, collect her medal, as does the rest of the Leeds squad. But now, the happy face of the winners of the tournament, the team that retained the trophy, St Helens. We'll just let this play through, as these ladies have won a major trophy, the first one, which could be of 4 this year. Emma McManus there, supporting the ladies team. Unfortunate injured there, one of the Saints players. Amy Hardcastle, one of the best players in the world in the women's game. And some developing Saints players. So good squad members. Now Jodie Cunningham walking up with the head coach to go get the trophy. After that semi-final made me age about 18 years older, we still had one more to go. And it's the semi-final between Huddersfield Giants and Hull KR. These two sides know now who they're facing when the Challenge Cup final goes to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So on to the teams, beginning with Hull KR. As expected, Will Dagger starts at fullback in place of the injured, concussed, Gold, Lachlan Coote, while Albert Vete misses out due to suspension. That means the halfback pairing of Rowan Milnes and Jordan Abdul continue in place of Mikey Lewis. Still no Brad Takarangi in the squad, and Ben Crooks continues at centre. While in the forwards, Matty Staunton starts up front with Dean Hadley in the second row. Jez Litton is on the bench instead of Matt Parcell, who starts, while Corbin Sims, Jimmy Kinehorse and Greg Richards all make up the bench. For Huddersfield, we see Tui Lolohea and Jermaine McGilvray both start in the back line for Huddersfield, while Innes Senior continues on the right wing, as he has been impressive so far for Huddersfield this season. Ollie Russell and Theo Farge are the picked halfbacks due to the suspended Will Dagger still being involved. The suspended Will Price not being involved. Chris Hill and Oliver Wilson are the preferred forwards, and Chris McQueen is looking to continue his good season so far. On the bench, Sebastian Ikehefo, Joe Greenwood and Owen Trout are all joined by Ash Golding, who was at fullback last time out for Huddersfield. After a Hull KR tip-on from Sean Kenny Dowd that found touch, Huddersfield found themselves deep in Hull KR territory off the scrum, and a few tackles later, they were on the board. First of all, Chris Hill is held up just before the try line, and Danny Levi is scheming. Barge finds his halfback partner, who dummies his way and passes to Josh Jones, who scores the first try of the game for Huddersfield Giants. Ian Watson's men are in lead in the semi-final. Here's that try again. Scheming Farge finds his halfback partner who dummies through. Little hint of obstruction there, but Josh Jones puts down just left of the post. Sam Russell does really, really well when he enters the line, and that's the try. Russell adds the 2 also, so it's 6-0 to the Huddersfield Giants. OKR are on the attack again, and Jordan Abdul kicks to the right side, where it's claimed by Ricky Luatelli of Huddersfield, and he passes it on to Innis Senior, who has the massive amount of power and strength and the pace to get by the Hull KR defence to go in underneath the sticks to extend Huddersfield's lead to 10-0, which Sam Russell extends to 12. Individual brilliance there by young Senior. This is the attack again. Jordan Abdul kicks to the right edge, and Ricky Luatelli climbs the highest to get the ball back and passes it to the young twin winger, who has been excellent all season to score Huddersfield's second try of the game. Luatelli's presence of mind to make sure that someone faster than him can go the full length and make a name for themselves, as it's 12 points to 0 of only 18 minutes gone. As much as Hull KR huffed and puffed for the rest of the half-time hooter went, and it's 12-0 to Huddersfield Giants. We go into early in the second half, and it's Huddersfield on the front foot. A couple of minutes gone, and they decide to swing the ball over to the right-hand edge, where Tuilola here finds Jermaine McGilvray with a bit of space. He skips back by Sean Kenny Dowd, skips past the covering fullback, and Ethan Ryan isn't strong enough to stop Jermaine McGilvray from going over for 4 more points to Huddersfield at 16 points to 0. So excellent work there by the England and Huddersfield winger, playing absolutely fantastic. Let's look at that again from behind the posts. Fast hands from Lola here, and Farge finds McGilvray a little bit of a gap, and he goes about the business of beating Kenny Dowd and also Ethan Ryan on the line, as well as the covering fullback Will Dagger. It's an excellent play of strength, speed and agility, not unlike his opposite winger. He's been doing this for years, Jermaine McGilvray, and should have been poster child for Huddersfield and on everything that they do to grow that club. Unfortunately, Sam Russell is unable to convert, so it stays 16 points to 0. An offside call against Hull KR sees a position for Huddersfield to extend their lead, which they decide to go for 2 for. And Sam Russell is the one that attempts the kick. From 30 metres out, the Huddersfield standoff, Russell takes aim and he takes the kick. The flags go up and it's successful, and Huddersfield extend their lead to 18 points to 0. We move to the 55th minute, and the Cowbell Army feel that there's something coming for their team, as Huddersfield are putting on a pressure to their opponents. Hull KR's Ethan Ryan had to stop and give away a knock-on due to the fact that it was overlap on. There was an overlap on for Innis Senior in the left-hand side of the pitch. This turns on the pressure from Huddersfield as they go close numerous times in this set. They were tougher and bigger and faster in the play of the ball, just out-muscling their teams, their opponents. And after Chris Hill almost goes close to the line, they were in. The next ball was a crash ball, simple, left of the post, which seen Owen Trout go over for Hull KR's next try. It was a simple ball to the left of the post, and Trout found his way over for the next try. Here's what it looks like. First of all, the knockdown by Ethan Ryan. And now the try itself. It was just quite simple. Hill does the setup play in the middle of the box. And Danny Levi finds Owen Trout close to the line, aims for the post and just swivels round it to score. Simple. Sam Russell adds the 2 for 24 points to 0. And it's metronomic from Huddersfield, close to the line, adding points, as Theo Farge adds the single for 25 points to 0. Huddersfield are looking more and more likely that they are Tottenham bound. So Hull KR actually gets on the board with a great kick from Jez Litton, kicking to the left corner, and Sean Kenny Dowd looks like that he bounced the ball on the try line. But after quite a few dodgy video refereeing decisions, and also, video refereeing looks at the video, whoever's running the video for the video referee needs firing, to be honest, and the referee sending it up as no try. This is the best view. You can see he's still in possession when it hits the line, when his hand is on the top of it. Despite the old dears in the background saying he bounced it, it's given. Here's the best view of it. Couple of frames. There, down. Try. There. On the line. On the line. Try. So after that, they go to the referee's posture. And he's on screen now. Pause time on. And a false start. And he gives the try. Unfortunately, the conversion is missed by Rowan Milne, so it stays 25 points to 4. And that is the final. That's all complete, as the full-time score is Huddersfield Giants 25, Hull KR 4, and the Giants are going to Tottenham Hotspurs. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. The weekend is finished for the Challenge Cup, and we have now found out for the final who's it. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We have found out who's going to be playing in the final for the Challenge Cup, and it is going to be between Huddersfield Giants and Wigan Warriors at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The whole match can be seen live around the world on Saturday the 28th of May 2022, and the kickoff is 3 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So while the men still have their showpiece to go to finish off the Challenge Cup for 2022, the women came down, curtain came down today in the final, which saw the St. Helens ladies go back-to-back against their opponents in the Challenge Cup and beating Leeds 8 points to 18 at Elland Road today. The women now go on to play in the Betfred Women's Super League North and South to see who are supreme in their respective leagues. Will Saints be the champions this year in the North? And can Cardiff go 2 for 2 for the Women's South in their new 7-team format? That's for next week. Let's wait and see if Saints have a sore head or hangover after the Challenge Cup final victory, or will they go about their professional attitude to win all 4 tournaments that they're in this year? And for the men, well, one more game. Wigan, Huddersfield, who's going to win? Tell me in the comments below. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking the notification bell for any updates that may be coming your way. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to stay safe. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next episode.